Leonardo DiCaprio trolled over his breakup with another 25-year-old called Camilla Morrone. And he looks like a total Moroni. The internet was set ablaze when news broke Tuesday that Leonardo DiCaprio and his much younger girlfriend, Camilla Morrone, reportedly split after 4 years of dating. Twitter users immediately trolled 47-year-old DiCaprio, who is said to only date women under 25. So, over his inevitable breakup with a model who just turned 25 in June. And this person put, maybe Leonardo DiCaprio hated 9/11 so much that he can't even date women who remember it. Did that even occur to you? One Twitter user savagely joked. Maybe Leonardo DiCaprio feels bad for all the women who can't rent a car until they are 25 and is actually a really good guy. Did that ever occur to you? A second suggested. Leonardo DiCaprio, when his girlfriends reached 25 years of age, basically putting up a clip of a woman throwing a baby into a fire. The girl Leonardo DiCaprio would dump when he's 72 was born today, a fourth jabbed. There's no phenomenon on this planet more reliable than Leonardo DiCaprio breaking up with his girl by age 25. The stats are breathtaking, someone else wrote. Leonardo DiCaprio, once his girlfriend's brain finishes development, another troll posted alongside a clip of Miley Cyrus blowing a kiss goodbye in Hannah Montana. Three things are certain in life: death, taxes, Leonardo DiCaprio breaking up with his girlfriend before her prefrontal cortex has fully developed. One more person agreed. The thought of Leonardo DiCaprio possibly dating someone born in the 2000s is actually terrifying. Another netizen shared. In 2 years, when Variety announces that Leonardo DiCaprio and Olivia Rodrigo have started dating, it's gonna be an effing rough day, one jokester tweeted, referring to the 19-year-old singer. I need to know how Leonardo DiCaprio conducts these breakups. Does he start picking fights months before they turn 25 to be less conspicuous? Or do they wake up on their birthday to a note that says, sorry, I can't, don't hate me, someone please investigate? And someone else begged, referencing the note Carrie Bradshaw received from Berger in a Sex and the City episode. White smoke has emerged from the chimney atop North Hollywood High School, signaling that Leonardo DiCaprio has chosen a new girlfriend. One more wrote, making a comparison to how the Vatican signals a new pope being elected. Titanic turns 25 this year, at which point I assume Leonardo DiCaprio would no longer want to be in it, another quipped. Have you ever considered that Leonardo DiCaprio is so proud of his work in the Titanic, he only dates women who weren't old enough to have seen it when it premiered, so he can share the special moment of watching it with them for the first time? Did that even occur to you? Someone else razzed. And people reported Tuesday that the Oscar winner has split from the Daisy Jones and the Six Star. And the news came after the duo were spotted having a tense conversation in May as DiCaprio comforted Marone at the beach in Malibu. Now, the interesting thing about this, right, is that Leonardo DiCaprio is one of those few guys in the world where, due to his celebrity status and due to the amount of money that he has and makes, and also that there's still probably a lot of girls that had a crush on him when they were younger, and they're still young, that he could easily still find a girl or a lady age 20, 21 that he finds very attractive that would be willing to date him for however long, right? The thing that's so interesting about this, right, is that he is so disturbingly consistent that with every relationship he breaks up with them before they turn 26 or reach that age, right? Like it's a really disturbing type of statistic where like yeah, for sure he's batting like 1,000 after a thousand, like 1,000 out of 1,000, and ending a relationship like that. Like after a certain point, for him in his position, wouldn't it make more sense to simply just not have a relationship at all and simply just date around, sleep around with whoever you want that's in that, 20 to 25 age bracket that apparently he is into? Is like, wouldn't that make more sense than getting into a committed long term relationship when you know for sure in your mind you do not see a future with this girl after she turns 25? Like, why bother dating at that point? What, you're going to be like 70 years old dating a 25-year-old? Or I should say a 24-year-old who ends up turning 25 and then you break up with her when you're like 70 something? Isn't that kind of crazy? I mean, here's the thing. He's in a certain position financially that he can pretty much do whatever he wants. He doesn't really have to care about what anyone ever actually says to him. Like he could literally never act ever again if enough people hate him and don't buy his movies and still would be financially okay. I doubt that he's been a moron with his money. It's just so interesting to see someone at his level being so oddly consistent in that he does not date women past 25. Like, out of all the things that you could be into, like, that is so interesting, right? He's like, why not 30? Why not 28? Why not 21? It's just such a weird number, right? And someone actually like put up like a chart where quite literally basically all his girlfriends never aged past 25, right? Like 25 is the age limit for DiCaprio, which is hilarious, right? But here's another thing as well. If you were basically a nine-figure millionaire that still looked pretty good for your age, that had a crazy amount of people interested in dating you and sleeping with you, how would you go and live your life? Would you do something similar to DiCaprio, whether you're a guy, girl, whatever? Like, would you only date people that you are severely attracted to, right? Strongly attracted to? Basically, never settling for anything, right? Because you know how some people, basically everyone, every normal person is like, oh, I'm going to date someone that I love, and I'm okay with dealing with some aspect that is not necessarily ideal or perfect in your mind, right? Maybe someone snores a bunch. Maybe someone is a little bit chunky. Maybe someone is a little bit stupid, right? But you're willing to put up with that because you love the person, but also the reality, you probably also don't really have that many options as well if you're like a normal everyday person. But someone like Leonardo DiCaprio, who probably has millions of women that he could basically choose from, he's not going to like settle for something that is undesirable to him, right? Like, why would he choose someone his age when he could easily get ladies much younger than him, right? Does that make sense for him? Like, why would he actually go and date someone his own age, right? When he could date someone who would be hotter than the person who's his age, right? He could date a super hot, like, supermodel that's like 22 and not have to date someone who is still beautiful at like 40 something, but not as hot as the 22-year-old. It's just an interesting thing to really like think about. It's like, how would you go about your life if you had the same connections, the same status, the same money, and the same opportunities that Leonardo DiCaprio does? Like, your life would probably actually change quite a bit. If you want to learn how to get out of debt and master your money, go to 40inbox.com.